A student arrested for an attempted murder on campus. We have new details on this breaking news story.
So I'm here in downtown Newport where over 50 people have had to be rescued from their homes today. And here's why. The whole road of downtown Newport completely underwater. You see small businesses, homes over here. People are wondering, is my business, is my home going to be a total loss?
I mean, in higher ed, once you've been somewhere past about 4.5 years as president, that's usually when people get fired or I don't know, whatever goes on.
We were at Chancellor Plowman's flagship address. We'll bring you up to speed on what you need to know. We are following several breaking news stories for you today, including our reporters on scene of devastating flooding in East Tennessee and how you can help. Thank you for joining us for UT Today. I'm Grayson Thatcher. We start first with what police are considering an attempted murder here on campus. UT freshman Michael Francis was arrested in the early morning hours on Friday inside Laurel Hall on charges of attempted murder. According to UTPD, Francis tried to stab a male student and cut a female student on the finger. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Francis is charged with attempted murder and criminal trespass, appearing in front of the court on Tuesday. We reached out to UTPD for an interview with no response yet, but we've been following this since the beginning and we will continue to bring you updates as they happen. Hurricane Helene made landfall last Thursday as a Category 4 hurricane, bringing with it widespread damage to the southeast. Mountain towns in North Carolina and East Tennessee bared the brunt in what one North Carolina mayor called a 1 in 5,000 year flooding event. Both Alexi Cowan and myself have been on the ground in some of East Tennessee's hardest hit counties. Alexi's been in the floods of Newport all week covering the aftermath. Alexi, how did this chaos even start down there?
Yeah, Grayson, I was actually in downtown Newport on Friday talking to some small business owners when first responders and fire trucks came running, shouting to get out. That downtown would be flooded in less than 2 hours. As you can see, the water was just minutes away from flowing over those train tracks into downtown, and that's exactly what it did, leaving businesses and homes devastated with damage, and the disaster just continued throughout the weekend. Now, the community is in crisis management mode, getting food and water and other supplies to Newport residents that have lost everything. You know, we hate to see disasters like this, especially so close to home. But one positive to take away from this is that tragedies like this oftentimes brings communities closer together, and it sure has in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Everywhere you look, there are donations and relief efforts and so many opportunities to help our folks around the community. While we continue to cover the devastation of Hurricane Helene, people in Knoxville are helping Newport and Unicoi County as they clean up the storm's damages. The Knoxville YMCA is collecting supplies for families in Unicoi County after being affected by Hurricane Helene. Cases of water, blankets, portable chargers, and other essentials were brought to Unicoi County YMCA. Knoxville management at the YMCA says the entire community came out to donate to the Unicoi community.
We had a big 16-foot U-Haul and it was full, like a third of the way full with just water.
The YMCA is continuing to take donations as the organization plans to bring another round of supplies to Unicoi County. The YMCA is asking for water, flashlights, batteries, portable chargers, and any other essential items. The YMCA is not the only organization lending a hand. Alpha Omicron Pi is one of the many sororities gathering donations to take to the Newport area. As the sorority made their way to the area, they saw the devastation Helene caused. If you want to donate, you can drop off your supplies at the AO Pi House in Sorority Village. Our weather specialist, Ansley Grayson, joins us now. Ansley, how's the cleanup looking?
Yeah, Grayson, as you just saw, Helene has left major destruction after tearing through East Tennessee and the Western Carolinas. Luckily, some drier weather is on the way, but officials are saying it's going to take months or even years to rebuild what has been lost due to the catastrophic flooding. Some ways we can help from here is donating. Multiple campus organizations like sororities, fraternities, student organizations are taking donations for non-perishable food items, water, clothing, hygiene products, and food for animals. There are also donation centers all over town. You can also volunteer to help the rebuilding and cleanup efforts. For more information, you can email tvcnews@utk.edu, and I will be back shortly with your Vols 4-day forecast.
Thanks, Ansley. I had the opportunity to go to the Chancellor's flagship address last week, where Chancellor Plowman mentioned her time at UT and the housing crisis on campus. The Chancellor's flagship address took place in the Susan G. Powell Recital Hall. She discussed the growth the university has experienced in the past 5 years. Plowman has been here since 2019 and just made an announcement to stay longer.
The Chancellor Plowman has told me and the rest of her cabinet that she has committed to lead the university for another 5 years.
She told us her inspiration for staying longer.
We want stability and leadership. So all those people, and 10 times more on campus, they deserve to know, like, where are we? Is she going to be here for a while? So I decided to say, I'm in.
Housing has been a big point of contention at the university over the past couple years. I asked Chancellor Plowman what she's planning on doing to help relieve the stress for both students and parents when it comes to the financial side of things.
If you follow the cranes on campus, there are a bunch of cranes around 3 new dorms. They're up and out of the ground, 2 of them. 1.5 to 2 of those are going to be move-in ready in the fall. The third one will be ready the next year. Our goal is to have enough dorm rooms so that students who are second, third, fourth year students, if they want to stay on campus, they can.
Of the flagship scholarship. When applying to college, money is often one of the determining factors when deciding what school to attend. The University of Tennessee just made that decision easier for students at 14 more high schools in the state of Tennessee.
We're eliminating one financial barrier for them. They're completing their degrees and they're heading back into their communities or other communities to impact state needs and nationally.
Any student that attends a flagship high school automatically receives a scholarship once accepted and enrolled at UTK. Make sure to tune in next week to hear from one of the 700 current flagship scholarship students. It's election time in Tennessee, and the last day to register to vote is coming up. We have Sydney Brackett here to tell us about a group on campus whose main goal is to get students to register to vote. Sydney, who is this group?
Grayson, the group is called Vols Vote, and they are encouraging you to vote. I spoke with 2 members of Vols Vote on how the initiative is encouraging you to vote and what resources they have for you.
There are only 32 days left until Election Day, and students are feeling stressed about their vote. One group on campus can help with that. Vols Vote. Member Elijah Winningham explains what they are.
So Vols Vote is an initiative to get students civically engaged on campus.
College students are consistently ranked near the bottom of voter registration and turnout. Vols Vote member Sophie Mylan believes there is an answer as to why.
And don't, again, have the foresight or the preparation to make a voting plan.
Vols Vote aims to fix this issue by providing the resources and information to help students feel comfortable registering and casting their vote. Many college students will refrain from voting because of their views.
A lot of young people have a lot of, new views.
While their voices are not being heard directly in government yet,
Being engaged in voting means that your voice is heard.
there are only 3 more days left to register to vote, and you can register directly through the Vols Vote website at volsvote.utk.edu. I'm Sydney Brackett, Vol News.
If you're interested in joining Vols Vote, you can email volsvote.utk.edu. Sometimes students don't have a voting place in plan, so there might be some confusion if you go to school out of state or even out of country. But there's an answer to this: absentee ballots. Absentee ballots are a way of voting that allows a registered voter to mail or submit their vote remotely rather than attending a polling place in person. On Tuesday, the Vols Vote Initiative held their own absentee ballot bay.
What we're doing is helping students register in person so that they can order their absentee ballot.
You can request an absentee ballot no later than 17 days before. Election Day. You can do so at sos.tn.gov. To create your own voting plan, you can visit vollsvote.com or check your Canvas page where there's an banner right at the top.
Sydney, if students have any questions on election matters, where can they go?
Great question, Grayson. If you have any emails or questions, email at vollsvote.utk.edu.
Thanks, Sydney. When we get back, we'll take a look at how your Tennessee Volunteers did a few weeks ago in one of their hardest games yet. And a few games have been rescheduled. We'll bring you up to date with all of them.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
The University of Tennessee is on the rise, lighting the way in everything we do, from theater to supply chain management to advanced materials, creating leaders in the field, on the field, and in every field. The best way to rise is to lift others up and reach for the summit together. It takes each one of us giving our all. It takes a volunteer.
Thanks for joining us. Alexi Cowan still covering the sports world as well as the weather this week. I know we have a lot to get to. Alexi, I know last week was a bye week for our football guys, but there was still so much going on.
Yeah, guys, me and Grayson have had time to rest up during this bye week, so kind of a slow few days for the Volunteers, but there's never a quiet sports week here on Rocky Top, so we'll get to some Lady Vol updates. But first, I do want to recap that Oklahoma game. You got fresh members of the SEC, the 15-ranked Oklahoma Sooners, also their first-ranked football matchup of the season, but Tennessee proved yeah, there we go. So now we have the first-ranked matchup of the season. Yes, first-ranked matchup of the season, but Tennessee proved there ain't no love in Oklahoma, wasting no time giving the Sooners a taste of that SEC Kool-Aid. Just going to let you know, very sour. Now, take a look at this dart by QB Iamaleava to Dante Thornton Jr. They were not catching him. Dante going in for the first touchdown of the night. Now, the Vols got lucky with some wild fumbles throughout the night, going their way. One right in the end zone for a safety. Look at that. Ooh, barely on that line. Now, granted, it wasn't a 70-point blowout like last week. Tennessee's defense actually giving up their first 2 touchdowns of the season, breaking that streak. But overall, a very successful game for the Vols, leaving fans very hopeful about how the rest of SEC play will go. Speaking of the Sooners, our volleyball gals headed down there last Friday, and it did not go the same way as the football game did. Lady Sooners defeating Tennessee 3-1 matches, the Lady Vol losing their last 2 away games. are trying to figure out that slump ahead of traveling to Ole Miss Friday and Mississippi State Sunday. We'll keep you updated on those matches. But on the soccer field, our Lady Vols are about halfway through their season already with a 6-1-3 record. 3 ties this year, including Sunday's game against Vanderbilt. Tennessee and Vandy both scoring only 1 goal. They host Mizzou tonight here in Knoxville at 7 and will head over to good old Fayetteville to take on Arkansas Thursday. SEC play really ramping up in all sports across the board right now. Stay tuned next week because we do have an exclusive interview with the sweetest and only set of Lady Vol siblings right now, Miss Tess and Edie Darby. Have some tissues handy, guys. Just warning you. But that's all from my side of the field this week. Keep supporting your Vols and keep being a volunteer.
And Alexi, we have some great opportunities to volunteer during this flood. Stay with us for how you can get involved.
So just having needs and products here that's accessible for everybody is just important, especially for people that don't have the opportunities or the accessibility to get anywhere else.
The Big Orange Pantry got a massive donation from an unlikely place. We bring you behind the scenes on how they're taking full advantage of Jell-O shot money. A Pantry on Wheels, how one local business is helping students. We have more coming up after the break.
If I could be you could be me, just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's mind. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
The University of Tennessee is on the rise, lighting the way in everything we do, from theater to supply chain management to advanced materials, creating leaders in the field, on the field, and in every field. The best way to rise is to lift others up and reach for the summit together. It takes each one of us giving our all. It takes a volunteer.
Today is Friday, October 4th, and welcome back to your Vols 4-day forecast. Today we're starting off with some patchy fog this morning, but it's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 82 today, with a 20% chance of rain after 2 p.m. Tonight the low is 61 with clear skies and a breeze. If you're heading to the football game this weekend in Arkansas, it's going to be hot with a high of 87 with clear skies and a low around 65. But here in Knoxville, Saturday's high is around 82 with clear skies and a breeze. The low for the night will be around 62. Moving on to Sunday, the high is 83 with clear sunny skies and a breeze. And Sunday night, the low is 62 with clear skies. Moving into the week on Monday, the temperature drops a bit, bringing in all the fall feels with a high of 77 with sunny clear skies and a chilly low of 51 Monday night with temperatures hanging around the mid to low 70s all week. That's all for your Vols 4-day forecast. Stay safe out there, Vols.
Thanks, Ansley. A business is giving back to Rocky Top again, and it is one of almost thousands of miles away. Our Kyla Berry tells us how this business is supporting students and faculty.
Here, it was a huge help to figure out, okay, now we've got resources to do more good for students.
Pantry does more than just provide food. Professional clothing can be found, and now, thanks to a Nebraskan bar that donated over $30,000, hygiene products can be found on the shelves.
Supports our ability to expand a lot of those resources.
Blake Wise, the director of the Center for Basic Needs, says hygiene products can be the last item on a grocery list.
We knew it was a need, and we also knew that it was what students would sometimes, choose last.
Now, shoppers like Jalen Smith can get their hygiene products in the student union.
And products here that's accessible for everybody is just important, especially for people that don't have the opportunities or the accessibility to get anywhere else.
All aimed at supporting students having accessibility to basic needs.
They can expect the same products available. Really helps to support food insecurity, basic needs security.
Providing shoppers like Smith with their everyday essentials.
Lotion, I've gotten a toothbrush from here.
And more, all thanks to a business that supports food pantries.
Just about half of our overall food costs for a year, which is huge. And so we've also been able to expand over the past couple months.
Rocco's Bar and Grill.
Businesses in Omaha, Nebraska, right, that support the work that we do.
In Knoxville, Kyla Berry, Vol News.
Hello, my name is Grayson Thatcher. Food insecurity is something that many college students struggle with. Check.
All right, we'll go in 10 seconds. I lied, 5, right?
Food insecurity is something that many college students struggle with. Our Alexis Brunson went and investigated just one way people in our community are tackling this issue. Alexis, so what is this solution?
Thanks, Grayson. This is the CHOP Knoxville Mobile Food Pantry. This mobile pantry provides free groceries to UT students and faculty every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. right here in our own backyard.
If you were to walk around the fort on Wednesday afternoons, you might spot a free food sign right across from Laura Hall.
I actually walk past here pretty much every day leaving for class, and they always are sitting out here telling me to stop by, so I finally came in.
Something that students like UT sophomore Owen Gilroy enjoys.
I mean, I would just say thank you to all of them. It's just really kind of them to do this and support the people around here.
Yet, this mobile food pantry is more than it seems, as Ryan McCrillis, chaplain for the ROTC Air Force program, revealed.
I think it was 2018, might have been 2019. I had several students in a row come to me who had fallen on hard times, and they were coming to me as a pastor saying, we can't afford to feed ourselves.
McCrillis spotted a problem and offered a solution.
And I started loading up my car with groceries and driving to kids' private residence and filling their freezers because they were, of course, not living in the dorms.
And that has only grown to become the CHOP Mobile Food Pantry, which provides free food to both UT students and faculty right here from 1 to 3 p.m. every Wednesday.
And then Ross and I, my brother-in-law at Knoxville Dream Center, started just talking, and he said, well, why don't we put a food truck right on campus? And so that's what we did.
For McCrillis, the mobile food pantry is about more than free food.
We're not here for the pay. We do it because we love our students.
And while the mobile food pantry doesn't see as many students as it did in the past, they don't plan to stop anytime soon. In Knoxville, Alexis Brunson, UT Today.
While this food truck is the one that serves campus, there are a variety of others that can be found all over Knoxville. You can find their locations and times at knoxvilledreamcenter.org. Do you think you'll stop by? I know you're probably closer to their location than me.
We'll see. Thanks, Alexis. The university has so many resources, but navigating them can be hard. Student Success is making it easier for students to access these resources. You may notice a new platform available to students. It's called Vol Connect. Student Resources partners up to connect students with resources, schedule appointments, manage tasks, and more. The Associate Vice Provost of Student Success says it's all focused on making resources more accessible to students.
Is that by bringing all of those offices together in one space, not only does it allow students to be able to access all those services better, but it creates a more streamlined student experience.
Student Success says they hope everyone downloads the app. To check out the new platform, if you have questions you want us to ask the Department of Student Success, email us at tvcnews@utk.edu. Fall Dining has been on a quest to feed students who might not be able to afford it. Our Gomez Vieira gives us a behind-the-scenes look.
In dining halls and cafeterias all around campus, you may have seen this sign that says, "Help donate 300 meals." It's for a program called Vols Swipe Out Hunger. Blake Weiss, the director of the Center for Basic Needs, tells us about the program.
We've typically called it our Big Orange Meal Share program, but we felt like Vols Swipe Out Hunger was a very action-oriented Vols Help Vols type name for the program. Students can donate their guest meal swipes to us, and then we take that pot of guest meals, and as we're working with students who are facing basic needs and security, we're able to provide those guest meals to other students that are in need. And so it's really Vols helping Vols.
Why is the number 300 important? Blake explains why.
So the 300 number is something that we've hit before, but we also want to make sure that we're not asking for more that we need. And so typically we give out 200 to 300 meal swipes every semester. And again, I just wanted to reiterate that those meal swipes are guest meal swipes. They're not meal swipes that are going to stay with you. When your meal plan ends, they're going to go away. And so, what a better use for them to go to someone in need.
So how can you donate? Here's how.
Yes. So on our website and on Vol Dining's website, you can access your dining account through the Get app. It's GET app. And once you go onto that Get app, there should be an opportunity for you to just, with a couple taps, donate those guest meal swipes to Vols Swipe Out Hunger.
So if you have any unused guest meal swipes, you can donate them to a good cause.
That's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grayson Thatcher. We'll be back here next week, next Friday after fall break. Stay safe and go Vols.